Number 3.
Top 3 pick, guys, live here.
Fuck! Fuck!
The second pick will be made by
The
the
Lakers.
Los Angeles Lakers. And that means that the number 1 pick.
Wow.
Lots of ball.
To the Lakers.
It's gotta be Josh Jackson to us.
All right, guys, that wraps up the lottery right there. It's a shame the fucking Celtics. Oh, that's a shame. So, Celtics.
We jumped thanks to the Kings.
Right.
So
That's great. I just like fucking the Kings, too.
I know, but
Yeah.
fuck the Lakers.
I know. I'd rather the Lakers.
but it's still better than
Oh, I'm so frustrated.
it's better than our odds showed us to be.
Not really, though, because we had 53% chance of getting the Lakers,
Getting the Lakers back, yeah.
which means the odds went against us there.
Yeah, but we also, with everything, had like a 50% chance of getting in the top
Would
3.
you rather have the 3 or say 4 and 5? Whatever.
I'd rather have 4 and 6.
So would I. I mean, I think the way this draft plays out is that it's a deep draft. I don't think there's as many
they didn't
different
say
makers.
there's studs in this draft, but it's deep.
Right, so you having 2 top 7 picks would have been pretty meaningful, I think, for the future, because you're getting.
Yep.
I mean, you'd have a chance to basically get the Kentucky backcourt,
Right, both
which
of
would,
them.
You
which
could.
would be
Which would be
exciting.
great.
I mean, I think that would be an exciting.
Which would be great.
But I mean, I love Josh Jackson. I think that's how it's set up to get Josh Jackson, right?
That's how everyone
I mean,
plays it.
You have to think that Fultz is going to go 1, but who knows? Maybe it's Ball. I mean, I think Fultz and Ball go 1, 2, but maybe not.
I see. You know, you can always put Fultz at the 2 guard. You can't put Lonzo at the 2 guard.
No.
And Isaiah is stuck at the 1 in Boston. Folds.
Or
trade it.
Or they trade it to try and get Paul George.
Or they traded for Paul George.
Paul George, Jimmy
Gordon
Butler.
Hayward, Jimmy Butler.
Gordon
and
Hayward's their free agent.
he is. He could accept it. He could accept the offer, but no.
Right. He's a free
He's
agent. You're not
going
trading
free
that.
agent this year.
Well, it's going to be interesting the way it plays out here.
It is.
Live reaction.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm-
I think from a Sixers perspective, you're pretty excited. You're going to get a difference maker.
You're going to get a difference maker.
You got a top 3 pick.
Yep.
Without the swap rights, you would have had the 5th pick.
Yep.
So I think right now it's
Without that beautiful Hinkie deal that transpired,
right. You're getting
we had the 5th overall pick,
yeah,
which means maybe we get Malik Monk.
right.
Definitely Tatum's off the board. Definitely Jackson's off the board.
Well, so you like if you're thinking in the future here,
Yeah.
how do you think this goes? Top 3 picks.
I'm thinking Fultz.
Fultz 1.
I'm thinking Fultz.
Do you think do you think the Celtics pick, or do you think there's a trade?
I think they've been so fucking patient so long. They could have traded last year's first round, year before that's first round, to try to get better quick.
Right.
And I think a lot has to ride on this series with the Cavs.
Right.
If they push them, maybe they trade for something. If they
still have their pick next year too.
still have the Nets pick next year.
Yeah.
Outright. It's not a swap.
Right.
This year's the swap.
Right.
They have the pick next year. So I don't know. I think the Celtics are gonna. I think Danny Ainge is going to be a little bitch and hold off, and stunt the growth of Markelle Fultz.
So you think they draft and they keep the pick, or where are you at? Do you think
You think
the
Celtics trade?
keep their pick, or do you think they try and go after package that maybe something else, something pretty small? I'd have to imagine for Paul George or Jimmy Butler.
I don't think it's Paul George real quick
Because he might go to LA.
because of all the Laker bullshit.
Yeah, I still think if you trade for him, you're coming off an Eastern Conference Finals run. You probably make another one next year if you add Paul George to that team. You're not
And that's
probably
what George
leaving
is
that
saying.
team for the Lakers are probably still going to finish as one of the last 5 teams next year.
Yeah.
The
With Paul George, what do they finish?
But it's not next year.
because he's still with Indiana next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he moves no matter what on draft day. I wouldn't be surprised if the
Yeah.
Lakers trade that pick.
But the Lakers cannot trade that pick before the draft.
They can't. They have to
can't.
draft somebody and
And
trade
it has to be
them.
like a Wiggins.
Because
Cleveland.
because they've already traded their pick next year, and you can't trade.
You
your
can't
first round
trade
pick
2 in a row.
2 years in a row.
Right,
So as you
right,
see
right.
it playing out for the Sixers, what are your thoughts here? They're drafting number 3. I think there's a lot of difference makers in the draft. I think the consensus is Ball, Fultz, then Jackson. Some people have Tatum before Jackson.
There's been a lot
Fox
of
is shooting up the.
There's been a lot of hype of Fox and about the love between the Sixers and Fox.
I really like
Which I'm
Fox
scared.
and what I saw of him in the tournament. I think Monk is a great player, but I think Fox made Monk look like nothing compared to him.
Right.
And I know every year there's somebody in the tournament that stands out and makes everyone go crazy, and then they disappoint once they get to the pros. But someone that shows up in big games like that always is a little exciting for me. And he fits a need for position. Not that we necessarily need to go for position now, but I don't know. I would love to take a run at Fox even at 3, but
See, Fox made Lonzo Ball look like a fool in the
he
tournament.
really did.
Shut him down for like 14 points, horrible shooting percentage. Shut him down. Defensively, I think Fox fits the Sixers awesome.
Well, let's go with this scenario. Fultz goes 1.
Yeah.
Either the Celtics take him or they trade him if Fultz goes 1. I think Fultz is going 1.
Fultz is going 1.
Right?
Mhm.
Either
Hands
the,
down.
Right.
You think Danny
Number
Ainge
2,
doesn't like
You look at the Lakers. They got Russell. They got Clarkson. They got some other guards. Say they take Jackson.
which?
Well, what do you do at 3?
Oh God, you can't do Lonzo.
No,
Can't do it.
I don't.
I think it's more likely. It's been a match made in heaven since the start. Lakers getting Lonzo. Lonzo
Right.
loves the Lakers. Push D'Angelo to the 2 guard. Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench. Lonzo at the 1. I don't think that happens, but if it does, oh my God, get me away from Lonzo and LeVar.
I can't. I won't be able to handle it.
Mhm.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. It's not that I can't handle it; it's I don't know if Team Simmons handles it, and I think Team Simmons is the future. Him and Embiid.
100%.
I think there's a chance that the Sixers actually package
Go
now.
up.
Now that the Lakers pick is defined and you know it's their first round pick next year, I don't think it would be crazy to see them trade our 3rd pick and the Lakers pick next year for one of those players that's going to be available this summer.
really.
Paul George or Jimmy Butler. I think
The
Colangelo,
Sixers trading.
I think Colangelo wants to win. I'm not saying I agree with
Who
that.
would you prefer?
I like them both, to be honest with you. I think Jimmy Butler plays 2 ways.
Yeah.
I think Paul George actually is a decent complement to the team right now because Simmons can run your half as your press offense, and then you can run your half court offense through Paul George.
It's not a bad lineup.
And he can shoot the 3.
Let's say you get a point guard in free agency.
Right.
Then you're looking at George Hill, Kyle Lowry, one of those guys.
I like George Hill.
And then you're looking at a starting lineup of one of those 2, Jimmy Butler or Paul, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, throw in Covington, or throw in another shooter, throw in another 3-and-D guy. That's a playoff team right there,
Especially in the East, it is.
especially the East. If you even take out JoJo and Ben, if you throw in one of those point guards and one of those stud small forwards, that's a playoff team in the East.
Right.
So you add that to the equation.
I mean, it's tough. Basically, like the Pacers this past year, the Bulls were better than the Pacers were this year, but you're asking for a first round exit.
Yep.
But
Right.
still, it's
But that's
step in
a
the right
rise to
direction.
mediocrity, which is not what we're looking for.
No, but when you add in-
specializes in.
I think that Jackson can be a really good 2-way wing player and can develop really well.
Where does he fit with Saric, Simmons? I mean, just those 2 guys. Covington, even. He'll be better
still
than
need
Covington.
a point
right? So
guard.
Covington's
You
gone.
still need a point guard
You need
to
an
play
all
defense.
right.
Yes.
So
But at some level, well,
on
the
offense,
Sixers brass would tell you at some level you're forgetting about Jared Ballas, who they like.
does he
They think-
start?
He doesn't play defense either.
who they
Does he
think-
start though?
I think next year, unless something changes, he does, right?
So then you got a lineup of Bayless.
I have a long-standing history of hating Jerry
Bayless,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he's just not my type of player. He can score, but he's just
I like
this
good off
D
the
guy.
ball.
He's got good size to defend the point guard. His injury history is not great, but let's just say he is starting point guard for us next year.
Him and Simmons in the backcourt.
Him and Simmons in the backcourt. And, Bayless can play two guard a little bit.
Right.
he can.
That's fine with me. Who's your other three guys on the floor? Obviously JoJo.
Obviously, Embiid. I think you start Jackson, and then it's Covington or Saric. And I think you probably start Covington and play a little bit small, but they're athletic.
Covington at the four.
Yeah, they're athletic enough, and they both play good defense against wing players in what is becoming a smaller, more stretched court. And then you have Sarge coming off the bench as your sixth man, who can be a
Right.
playmaker as the sixth man.
Now,
Like Kukoc style.
Right.
now they say
Not Kukoc Sixers, Kukoc Bulls.
Kukoc Bulls. Kukoc Bulls. Now, that means we have depth at power forward center. We still have too much depth. And Covington lined up at the two guard this year.
That's why
That
I
means
think it's hard to like write him off at all.
I don't think you can.
No.
I think he's a piece of the future, certainly.
So do I.
That's why I'm wondering with Jackson. If you take Jackson,
They said he was the best wing defender statistically in the NBA this
Right.
year.
Covington was.
Covington
But
was
I think
wing
Jackson can do
defender,
the same thing.
not but not power forward. Wing defender.
Right. I agree. But power forwards are becoming more players like
Becoming-
Ryan Anderson on the Rockets who's standing outside and shooting.
He's
They are.
what a three was.
They are.
Right.
5 years ago.
Ryan Anderson also has 3 inches on Covington, 2 inches on
Yeah.
Covington.
Right.
And
No,
and like 10 percentage points on his 3-point shooting.
Can he guard the LaMarcus Aldridge, the Pau Gasols, the
Probably
still
not. Probably
tall
not.
power
Probably not.
forward?
No,
Probably
but that's
But you
what
have help
happened with
with
the
Embiid.
Rockets too, and that's
And you have help with
Mhm.
Embiid as a presence,
You
as
know?
a rim protector.
Yeah.
You don't. That's something you got to consider when you.
Those guys do play on the wing too. All those guys play on the wing.
Right.
when you look at who they have to go through. It still will be at that point. It'll still be Cleveland,
Right.
but Boston will add whatever piece it is. If it's a Butler or George or a number 1 draft pick, they're still going to be
This
relatively
makes
the
Boston
same team.
pretty dangerous.
It does. It
It
definitely
does.
does. But their makeup still will. I don't know if it's better than Cleveland with LeBron playing
No,
peak LeBron. Like
exactly.
they still have a good 3 years of waiting that out, unless they add something else another time.
So would you guys rather be talking about us putting 2 guards in the backcourt, getting 5 and 6?
Yeah,
I'd rather be talking about putting 2 guards in the backcourt.
I think
too.
so. Yeah.
I'm just
But-
terrified of Lonzo Ball.
It goes back to
Oh yeah, I don't want
Kentucky,
any parts
though.
of Lonzo Ball.
Do you really want Malik Monk? I think he's great and he could be good. I think he's more Lou Williams.
I was gonna say, what's his ceiling? It's got to be like Lou Williams, right?
Williams, maybe a Bradley Beal. He is a freak athlete. He doesn't measure
have that
good
same
by any
size,
stance.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, he doesn't have the good arm length. He's great athletically, but again, I don't know.
I love the idea of getting 2 guard prospects, though.
What's it take to go from 3 to 1? What's it
That's
take?
what my question was.
What's
gonna
it
be.
take?
Not 5 and 6, more than 5 and 6.
No,
No,
we're saying
the
you mean
market
now?
right
How
now.
did we get
Now?
the Celtics? How do we get the Celtics?
How do we get the
back?
Celtics to move to 3?
The thing is,
we don't.
I think we're one of the worst trade options for
We
the
don't.
Celtics.
We don't without him.
We can't trade proven players. We can only trade more picks.
And Okafor is worth nothing.
And
right?
Okafor is worth dick.
We do have the Lakers pick.
We have the Lakers
So
pick,
there's
we
an
have the
extra
Kings
first
pick.
rounder.
But do they
And-
just want more first-round picks?
Who, the
Or
Celtics?
take the faults?
Danny Ainge loves possibilities because he loves doing that whole deal where he makes himself seem like the best GM in the league.
He might
Right. Look at he
By
might be. He
doing
might be.
nothing.
But yeah, but by doing nothing. But
Well, no,
well,
it
not
doesn't,
necessarily doing
it
nothing
doesn't
because he
take
got
the
picks
best
and
GM in the league, though,
takes the luckiest.
to fool Billy King.
Right.
Right.
With Mikhail Prokhorov
Yes.
breathing down his neck. too.
Yes.
Right.
I just don't think the Sixers have the ability to actually trade up to number 1.
I don't
And
either.
it's a shame because Fultz would have been great.
He'd have been the perfect fit for
Yep.
the Sixers.
And I think we're
But, sometimes those guys don't
You don't think they
work
can?
out.
You don't think they can move 3 this year and the Lakers pick next year?
But I don't know if you want to do that. I think that's putting a
Well,
lot of
I
eggs
think-
in
I
one
don't-
basket because
I don't think I would
I
want
think-
to, but
I think Jackson's going to be a good player in the league. Like I think he's going to be a borderline all-star every single year. Not his first couple years, but like once he hits his 3 years in, he's going to be one of those dudes who's like on the cusp of an all-star every single year.
I'm just worried because the
Star,
one.
sophomore star.
Yep. I'm just worried because
50 All-Star.
his form is a little broken. He hits it at a great clip from three, but he also shoots 57% from the free throw line.
It's a little bit of a line drive shot,
It's a line drive shot.
which is not what
You
you want.
know,
to see.
Sean Marion had that little
Perfect
long
drive.
drive. You know what I mean? Come on.
You wanna see
He
that
hit at a
perfect
good
drive.
clip from 3-point.
He hit an ugly shot.
He had an
But you know
ugly
what?
looking shot.
He had the basic
not my fault.
mechanics of
Yeah.
shoot your hand straight to the basket,
Right.
snap your wrist. It was an ugly shot, but it was just like a kid's shot compared. It wasn't an adult shot.
It was highly blockable.
He was
at the
athletic
same
enough
time.
to to make up for that.
Yep.
As you think through the draft, do you think you take Fox over Jackson then?
I personally do. I don't. My thing with Jackson is I don't like his size, his slenderness.
He's a skinny guy.
He's too frail for my liking.
He's 6'8", 200
He's
pounds
young.
wet.
He is young.
He's young.
He is
He's young.
People
He could
bitched
fill
at
out
Kevin
that.
Durant's weight.
Right.
They freaked out that he couldn't lift weights in the combine,
But
Kevin
he's a
Durant.
legit 7-footer.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a different player.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying.
80% from the line,
exactly. And
Or
that's not
85%,
Jackson.
whatever.
I just think, and maybe it's wrong, but the ceiling on Jackson, I think, is extremely high. And I don't know if you put Fox in the backcourt with Simmons, if that works that well. I mean, neither of them are great shooters.
Right.
They both like to push the pace, which is good. But at some level, like we're building a team of playmakers, and at some level, you need guys that can shoot.
You need shooters,
to,
right.
to take away from those playmakers and get those
Well,
open looks.
That brings me to a Jason Tatum, who's 6'8", a lot heavier build than Jackson. Doesn't have the defensive repertoire, but still has that create his own shot, can hit the three-pointer, hit 80% from free throw, has the mechanics down. Could be Jabari Parker, Carmelo, Rudy Gay-esque.
Yeah, he's
And
an intriguing name.
I just think that fits in better
It
than
does fit
Jackson.
in better.
Definitely.
But again, is
I-
it fit or best player available?
I think I still think we're a best player available until we have some, I don't know, known entities in terms of health.
Besides a 31-game rookie of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't want to overreact because I do think Simmons is going to be fine. Long term, I don't think this is a health issue for him. I don't think he's going to be
No,
a
I
guy who's
agree.
perennially hurt. Embiid might be, but you're not getting another Embiid anyway.
No.
Like Embiid is Embiid, you can't get another.
He's
No.
part of that whole unicorn conversation for a reason.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of big guys in next year's draft. Does that make it more tradable? The Lakers pick more tradable because of our depth.
No,
I don't know if we even have depth big though. I mean, we have some depth big, but not big. I mean, like
You got Rashawn.
I like Rashawn, and he's the classic, second unit center who can play.
Dude, he was
15
chucking up
minutes.
threes this year.
Yeah, I like him.
I didn't know he had that in him.
It makes you question the whole deal with like LaVoy Allen. Was one of after his rookie year, we were really worried about how can we re-sign him because the classic Hinkie deal fell through. So it's like, oh no, what are we going to do? And then he ended up getting shipped off to Indiana, and then he just is not is even in the league now.
He is. I think he is.
Does he play?
He still
Yeah,
was in
but he's
Indiana
not
this
really
year.
doing much.
No, but he's an
That's my concern. with Holmes.
okay defender, can rebound and can score in the post.
But that my
I
concern
think
with
we're-
Holmes is that he ends up being he's elevated because of what else they have. And
Yeah,
what else they have is not.
he's better than Okafor.
He is better than Okafor. That's
Okafor.
true. That's
Right.
true right now for sure.
He plays better defense. He can hit the long shot every now and again, and he's a freak athlete. When he throws it down this year, man, he's throwing it down with heat.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
I mean, you made it easy to get rid of Noel.
And I mean, with Sarek's play at the end of the year, I like him better as a 6-man front court guy.
I love Sarek
But can you-
as a 6 man. coming off the bench, leading the break, giving Simmons the rest.
Yeah.
Kind of like a lineup with him and Simmons in it, though.
Well, I mean, you could see him coming off the bench and then still being in the final five that close that
Exactly.
game.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
coming off the bench is still playing 28 minutes a game.
Yeah.
28 minutes a game.
Maybe even.
But
yeah.
how many minutes of those 28 are actually with Simmons? Because both of those guys can guard the 3 and the 4. Their athleticism, their intensity,
Right.
and you forget, man, Sherrod can pass.
Oh, absolutely.
God
I
damn.
don't think anyone's forgetting that.
No,
You know,
he's
he
playmaker
can-
first and foremost.
Think about the ball movement with an actual point guard like Fox,
Right.
Simmons, and him on the court. That thing's moving around.
Right.
The only thing is that goes back to Kruger's thing where you need someone that can
Hit
score.
an outside
Right.
shot.
And it's one thing to have them get to the basket or whatever, but you still need that spacing. Where I don't know. I don't think he'll be worth it for the Sixers to chase, but I would love JJ Redick or like someone his
I was about
I
to say
was-
that exact same
I'm
name.
thinking I like JJ too.
just
I
someone
do.
that just knockdown shooter, plays really hard defense,
And-
big
and
enough to make a difference. And I don't know. I just,
another name is Patty Mills.
Patty Mills.
Patty
He can't
Mills.
shoot as well, but he
But
can make a
but
shot.
He gets hot.
But he plays for a Greg Popovich offense. It
Right.
can flow right into
Knows-
Brett
But he's got the
Brown.
Brett Brown combo
And
thing.
we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
No matter what, we're overpaid for both.
Oh, for sure.
But everyone's being overpaid. Like, it might not necessarily be overpaying because that's the market rate. And
Yeah, but
market
the cap
rate
is
The only
still
way
there,
you don't
though. So
get-
it's like you
yeah.
overpaid for your team. You know, it's like
right.
sometimes I feel like you just have. It's better to just sit out. And
I
pass
will
on some of these guys.
overpay any veteran. What pisses me off is the length of the deal.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Pay him a max deal for 2 years, and then we got more cap room.
Right. Right.
yeah. You don't want to give them.
You know,
18
Now
million
Jamal
for
Crawford, he
4
signed a
years.
2-year deal.
He's on a 2-year, $45 million.
Because I think he would be a nice fit.
I mean, so
I,
I was so happy when we were flirting with him
my
last
only
year.
thing against him is he doesn't do anything on defense.
No.
Not like he doesn't.
No, but as a 7th, 8th guy.
Yeah. Come
Good
in,
leadership,
light up,
has
instant
been on
offense.
good teams,
Yep.
can really, I want an old veteran that used to be good to lead our team into something.
Like what Elton
I like
Brand was.
the Elton Brand
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? I like that.
Like assuming he was healthy the whole time he was there.
So we've had about 15 minutes
Yeah.
since the lottery.
Yep.
What direction do you want them to go?
You mean
Well, who
Tank
we
again?
want?
are you
No,
asking?
we can't tank again.
We're not tanking again.
I mean, we got the Lakers pick next year.
And the Kings pick.
I can't imagine the Lakers are
2019.
that good next year.
I can't either.
I mean,
Yeah, but
I-
don't you see it in their eyes as, guys, we lose our goddamn pick next
Well,
year?
plus, so then no matter what they're going to be in the lottery,
let's trade everything we can to get good. We're losing it anyway.
right?
They could make some stupid moves to bump them up 8 spots to be the AC in the West. The AC in the West this year was not good.
right.
No,
They didn't. They finished with like a what
500.
500 record.
I don't think they'll even be that good.
I don't
Even if
think they
could
I think
even-
that's a lot of steps for them to make. I mean,
I don't think this rookie edition, whoever it may be, Lonzo or whatever, is not going to take him there.
no.
And I don't think any free agent this year is going to go there. But if they, hell, they could. What if they pick Jackson and pay Kyle Lowry out the ass?
right.
You know what I mean? Pay Kyle Lowry this year. Wait for DeMar DeRozan and
I mean, but if they do
Yeah,
that,
and,
if-
Paul
LA thing,
George.
yeah.
get all the LA guys together.
they can't get Paul George this offseason. That's next offseason.
But they could prep for it.
But
So
I don't care
Paul,
if they
hey,
prep
come
for
on
it. I
over.
don't
Why
care if
not?
they prep. When they could trade for him,
Yeah.
They could
That's
trade
trade
for
what?
him.
they can't trade their pick until they have
Can't
it.
trade their pick. Well, no, they can trade a pick though. They can trade a future.
They can
pick.
trade 2020.
20 for you think Indiana Pacers are trading Paul George for 20?
Yeah, they-
No, but
Larry
you gotta
Bird,
look at it
Larry
like
Bird
this.
just left.
You gotta-
They're getting ready to enter a total.
But we
rebuild.
would trade for Paul George before then. We would trade.
Yeah, no, but we wouldn't because
because we know he's
know
going to
that he
Lakers
wouldn't
anyway.
resign.
I
Knowing that he would resign,
I don't
the
think you
Lakers
can.
could
I
take
don't
that
think you
risk.
can overthink that. I think you
He's
gotta
working
be
out with Kobe this year.
confident.
He's freaking out about it. He's so excited. Everyone earlier today, they were giving him actual shit for being too open about going to the Lakers. Like too open about it.
Yeah, that
Larry Bird's gone. I don't know.
I think that was the biggest sign that like they're ready to start over.
Yep.
Bird leaving.
Bird made the wrong decision about not trading him.
He drove that Indy car down the streets of Indianapolis to promote whatever, and then he left the next day. And
Yeah, that car is pretty sick.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
pretty
But
cool.
for Larry Bird to do that, he was like, "Fuck
Yeah.
this shit."
I can't believe
Right.
his knees got into that thing. He's probably still in it. Just sleeping.
That's why I quit.
It's like, oh, man, I can't get out of the car. Can't move.
Time to pack it up.
Yep.
I would be surprised though if the Lakers weren't in it, like deep lottery, like 8th worst record. It's kind of where I see them.
I think they're a top 8 pick next year. I don't think they're a top 3 anymore.
And Sacramento
Yeah.
was 8, and they jumped this year. You never know.
I know.
From
I
the
think
Sixers'
the
point of view,
Lakers
it's
stink
still
again.
fine
I think
that
they're
they get it next
young.
year.
I think they stink. I don't think they stink as much. I don't think they got much better. They're not going to get much better this year. You're right. If they make one
All right, so who
free agent signing, though,
if they pick Lonzo, who are their
starting 5.
yeah, who's their starting 5? Because like Jordan Clarkson was one of their better players, so like he's out. Then if Lonzo's
Clarkson moves to the 6th man.
Right.
Lonzo's at the 1. Russell's at the 2.
which
Ingram's at the 3.
Randall's at the 4.
Randall's at the 4. Mozgov's
It's not Mozgov.
the other foreign dude.
who's
The foreign guy too,
playing
but
great.
the other guy who's pretty good. The Nance Jr.
Larry Nance Jr. But he's a
I think he's a good.
34
I
though,
think
He's
isn't
like
he's
a
a.
4.5.
He's a 4.5. Yeah.
I mean, it's a different NBA. You know, what I mean, they
Yeah,
just
right.
don't have traditional guys. Do you think the Lakers
But
like
he would get-
Okafor at all? No, I don't know if there's value
I
to
don't
moving
think
up
anyone
to
likes
2, but if you
Okafor.
trade 3 and Okafor to move to 2, I feel like
Maybe move to 2.
they might do that.
But who?
Now,
but
if
they
you're
make
that
money.
afraid of Lonzo Ball,
Yeah,
you trade Okafor and 3 for 2.
I don't know if they are.
But who would we get?
I don't. And then to take Jackson,
Take Jackson or Tatum?
right?
I don't know. I think people are pushing Jackson more ahead of Tatum, but there's a lot of people out there who want Tatum over Jackson.
You and Duke grad Jay Billis.
That's right. I think we can forget about all the other point guards out there, though. Dennis Smith Jr. is not hopping
I don't want
anybody.
any parts of him.
He's a one. He needs the ball in his hands to do well, and we don't want that on our team.
Mhm.
I don't think any team besides the Magic. Where'd they end up? At 5? That's a good pick at 5 or 6.
They're at 6.
They're at 6. That's a good pick at
The
6.
Kings have our pick at 5.
But that's not worth it to me.
How did the
And
Magic end up at 6?
I don't know. The 2 teams jumped. Kings and Suns got pushed out.
But weren't they 2?
Suns were 2. They
Magic
got
have to be
pushed
5,
out.
then, right?
Suns were 4. Kings hopped in. Lakers got hopped in. I don't
Maybe
know.
6, whatever.
Now there was one foreign guy a few years ago that hopped up the boards,
Darko?
and he's great now. Zinger,
Zinger.
the Zinger.
He had hype around him before, like at this point, though.
Yeah, he
Right,
did have
cycle.
hype. He did have hype. I think he got or looks at him at 3 and 2 and 1. But it's another foreign guy. Then you had who's that point guard out of Australia? Totally flamed out. Dante Exum. He's stormed up just because he had athleticism, wingspan,
Right.
big size.
And then he
There's that foreign point guard out there, Frank Nigliga. Nigga, not gonna be a Sixer, but I don't know. He could jump up the boards. He's got a crazy, freakish spider wingspan.
Right. Not the 3.
Not that you don't think not the 3.
Not the 3.
It's kind of weird.
I read some reports on him. He seems like he fits the mode a little bit, but seems like he fits the system a little bit. But
I think he's gonna end up being a Knick.
yeah,
Join his partner Zinger.
Where's
Yeah.
he from?
Belgium, but he played in France.
okay.
I
He's going to join Porzingis, who's Latvian.
This is
And,
Latvian. I'm just saying foreign guys. They stick together. They're all lanky and tall. I don't know. I think they join forces.
and they have the other foreign big dude too, who came on at the end of the year.
Herman Godenzo.
Yeah, Hernan
Who
Gomez.
we traded?
Hernan Gomez.
We traded them. We
Wasn't
traded him
that
to
one?
the yeah.
There's two Hernan Gomez's.
No, we traded him to the Knicks. We got their second round picks in 2020 and 2021. So we got that to look.
Wonderful.
2020 and 2021.
Yeah,
What a year to be
9
alive.
second round picks in the next 3 years
Right.
to get literally 0
to
players.
just trade it for more second round.
Yeah,
picks.
exactly.
In 2052, we'll have every second round pick.
Yep. Wait for
So many
Okafor's
drafting sessions.
two second round picks.
Yeah.
Well, Noels are coming 2 second round picks.
Yep.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
guy that I want us to draft in the second round, if he stays in the draft,
Josh Hart.
is this Hamidou Diallo.
He's second round.
He's, I don't know. He's doesn't have a shooting stroke, but he's got Andrew Wiggins type.
But he's really short.
But he's got a freak athleticism about him.
Yeah.
Potential. You got to see potential there. That's
You know-
why, that's why
you know
Josh
his nickname
Jackson is
is-
being heralded as the next Andrew Wiggins.
But he's not just potential. I mean, if you watch KU basketball games, he was the best
He
player on
shuts
the court in
people
every,
down.
and every single game he played, he was the best player on the court. I think you've got to recognize that. I like Josh Jackson. At some level, I like Josh Jackson. I mean, Fultz was the perfect dream person, right?
Yep.
Well,
He could
the whole
slide to
time, I
two
just like
and
Josh
play the
Jackson.
one. I do think Josh Jackson's great. He also played with Frank Mason, who was the National Player of the Year.
Right.
Took a lot of attention off of him, which made him get open for 3-pointers.
But it's not like Embiid and Simmons aren't going to do that.
That's right. That's right. They're going to keep it honest. He's going to get his looks too.
I mean, Jaylen Brown went 3 last year. I think Josh Jackson is Jaylen Brown, but better at every single thing.
Except skinnier. Except
No, he's not,
he's
though.
so
He's
skinny.
way skinnier. Yeah,
Dude.
he is.
Jaylen Brown was like at least 30 pounds heavier than him.
Jaylen
Yeah.
Brown looks like a grown athlete. And
Yeah.
Josh Jackson
Josh
looks like a kid.
Jackson. Yes.
That's not to say he can't fill out because he is 19 or whatever, but I
He's 19.
don't feel like he
But has Wiggins
has
filled
the frame
out?
to support. I mean, a little
A
bit.
little bit.
If you look at him now compared to when he came out of school, I think you'd see a big difference. But he also is still not the total game changer that he was probably expected to be.
It's tough. Josh Jackson was the number one guy out of high school
Right.
until Fultz had his screaming senior year.
Right.
Fultz wasn't even on his varsity team until his junior year.
Right. Yeah, I like guys like that.
So,
I mean, but Fultz is now, he's a pipe dream. You know, you got to
He's
move
gone.
past him.
I know, but it wanted him so bad.
I can't believe they didn't get that Lakers pick either.
I know.
You know, it's kind of wild. So last year we had about like a 45% chance of getting the Lakers pick. This year, 53%. The year before, last year, we had about a 40% chance, and they kept it every single year.
Mm-hmm. You're starting to think it's a little
Oh, it's
cooked.
definitely rigged.
The books are cooked.
It's the cooks are booked.
Well, that's that's why they gave him the second pick instead of the first pick because Magic Johnson already came out and said that they were going to win the lottery. He guaranteed it.
Right.
Well, because he knows shit.
Yeah, he knows shit. So they were like,
knows
"Oh, Magic, whoa, pump the
Yep.
brakes a little bit here."
Pump the brakes
Right.
there, bud. You're going to give us away.
Yeah, just like the Kembe last year with the Sixers pick.
Right.
He tweeted
Yep.
like 6 hours
yeah,
before.
Dikembe now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the legends: Dikembe, Magic.
Dikembe might have done one of those Lion King things, you know?
I think
Rafiki style.
the freaky style. The freaky style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See into the future.
So does that mean after the Rafiki quote, does that mean it's time to shut it down?
I like it.
All right, we're shutting it down now, guys. Have a good night.
Well, yeah, we didn't get into any of the.
We didn't get any of the playoffs at all, but
Do you want to?
the Sixers aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was our best effort.
That was our best effort.
I came down.
No,
Yeah, if the Lakers didn't go on that winning streak to end the season, the Sixers would have had 3 and 4.
Yep.
And you'd be talking Josh Jackson, De'Aaron Fox.
You're right. If they didn't become you're right.
That's what happens when you end up
It's gonna piss inside.
banking on
You're flowing.
crap teams.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And that's it.
Which one do you like?
You tall boy.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah, sorry. We just walked.
Thanks for joining us. We will be back with a draft edition of Trust or Nonsense, and we hope you enjoyed it. And see you next time. Thank you.